Hold on. Sorry. Um, Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Irish Ears, the Disney Fancast. Sorry for missing a few weeks. It's been a busy May. But busy times, what can we say? We've had a lot to catch up on. Happily ever, Aisling. How are you?
I am good. Yeah, it was a busy May. I'm in my mid-wedding season, so I have a lot of weddings going on at the minute. So I haven't been able to squeeze any trips to Disney in the meantime. I don't think so. Actually, wait, did I go in May?
I think
I
you
think
went
I
to
did
end of
actually
April.
since we last talked. But
Yeah,
anyways, oh no, that was April, I think. Yeah, but
that
I'm
was April.
excited to hopefully get one in soon. I was looking at kind of like this first week of July, so hopefully at least Big Thunder Mountain will be back when I go, which is very exciting.
Like, Bastille Day is a Tuesday. That's perfect for
I have
you.
a wedding.
Who has a wedding on a Tuesday? Sorry, if you're listening to this and you're one
And
of
it's your
Ashling's
wedding.
clients, if you want to relocate to Paris, I'm sure we can
We can
get
arrange something.
sponsorship from the podcast to move your wedding.
Cool wedding.
Yeah, no, it's been busy. We have a lot to talk about. I want to go through. I want to like set the agenda for the people, for the hordes of people listening.
Yeah.
We're gonna give our opinions on the DMF, the Disney Music Festival, not the other DMF. And then we're gonna talk about the pop-up surprises. Were you there when pop-up surprise was on? Or did you just
No,
miss it?
no, I
Just
didn't.
missed
When
it.
I knew past midway through, still midway through.
Amateurs. I'm gonna briefly talk about the Thunderbolts movie. And then we're gonna talk about May 4th. We're gonna talk about Disney Abu Dhabi Doo. We're gonna talk about the Alice Show world premiere, Casey's Corner Terrace, Lounge Lightspeed, Stitch movie review from Aisling. She doesn't know it yet. Space Mountain 30, which is like apparently news to everyone apart from Disneyland parks themselves. And we're talking about Disney Pride, and the big news today, as we record on like Tuesday, the 17th of June, the virtual queues have expanded greatly, and it's causing no end of controversy today in my DMs. Anyway, I don't know about anybody else's DMs. Yeah. So Disney Music Festival. I know you've been. I've been. I didn't get to experience it all. In fairness, and if my daughter's listening to this, she'll attest to the fact that she wasn't really vibing with the whole DMF. The fact that you have to wait like for like
Yeah,
up to an hour
a lot of waiting.
to squeeze into a little corner. But I felt like, actually, you go first because I'm always talking too much. You go first. Give your take on DMF.
I really liked the music festival. I think it was really, really good, and it brought like good atmosphere to the park for when you're walking past areas, even just like hearing the music or like seeing them walking from like one place to the other. I think it was like gave the atmosphere that Disneyland Paris kind of needed, especially with all the construction going on. I felt like it was a good balance that actually it like made the construction kind of go away. That Big Thunder Mountain wasn't closed. It gave extra things to do within the parks, definitely. There is some things like the waiting around, as we said. I spent my entire day only basically doing music festival stuff, and I still didn't get to see everything, which is obviously a good thing because it means there is so much going on. But majority of it was waiting. The longest show is the concert, and I didn't get to do that because obviously that would take 30 minutes of the actual show and then like probably like 40 plus minutes waiting for that one. But the rest of them were all like 30 or 40-minute waits just to actually get near the front, not even at the very front. And I think that if they were to bring it back, which I think they should, I think it's a good summer, like music festivals happen in the summertime. I think it's a good thing to maybe bring back, swap out characters, that kind of thing. I think they need to do something with either like a stage that can be like rolled in and out, that can put the characters up a bit, or like a roped off section at the front just for kids to sit in by themselves, which like I know some kids won't want to sit in that. So if you are going between now and September and you want to sit with your kids at the front, definitely get there early, because a lot of people are letting all the kids go through, but then for all the shows basically I went to, there was like parents giving out to other adults that they couldn't go through with their kids to the front. So I think if you want to be sitting with your kids, which naturally obviously your kids want to stand beside you and not beside strangers that are standing at the front and look at Rapunzel, but I think definitely just try and get there early, because it was kind of like a running commentary of let me go try with my kid. Da, 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 kind of for some of the shows, especially Rapunzel, because that one is very, very, very tight. But I did love the performances. The grand finale was so, so good. It was definitely giving Dream and Shine Brighter vibes. It was really good. And I loved Minnie's marching band as well. And I think that like gave the real American Disney vibes that people say that Disneyland Paris doesn't really have. And with the marching band and everything, it was just really good. I loved it.
Here's a question now. Do you think that it brought Disneyland Paris to like where it should be as a standard? Or was it something else by itself that it actually made Disneyland Paris better than normal?
Hmm. I think
Like,
I think it brought it up to like a better standard.
but
I
should
think
should the music festival be the atmosphere in the park with the marching band and stuff like that? Is that not just the way Disneyland Paris should be all the time?
I think so. Yeah.
And is it
Like,
a
and I have to say, like, summer, if they ran summer from not from like April until the end of September, I don't think you'd need to do the winter months with it, because you have Christmas, Halloween, and then like the off down season, January, February, March, which Paddy's Day of not the down season, sorry, the most important weekend, Paddy's Day. But yeah, I think if they had that kind of going all the time, it would really make a difference. I think Disneyland Paris entertainment has always been really good, and like all the performers and everything that they have are always amazing. So I don't know why they wouldn't try and bring like more performers, because that's what one of the things I always notice is when people go to Disneyland Paris, maybe they're complaining about the food or they're complaining about the weather or whatever, but they always say like the Lion King show is brilliant and Mickey and the Magician is brilliant, and it's always kind of like the entertainment that stands out. Like Dream and Shine Brighter, that was obviously amazing, but I feel like if it had them little entertainment things, and like even just having say a Minnie's marching band, like that would be not easy obviously because you still need to pay the cast members and stuff, but like that would be one to have say like in the morning time, and then you could still have Stars and Parade or a new parade hopefully in the evening time, and then that would be like really good to have something that's real, like giving the American Disney vibes, and then just like the usual Disneyland Paris for later on.
yeah, like it's a bit of a damning indictment that like the standard, like bringing up to a standard, everyone's like so excited about that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
like you've been to California recently. I was there like a long time ago, but it feels like they do low level entertainment, like
a lot,
really
like
a lot.
everywhere. Like
Like
when
yeah,
even just outside Pirates of the Caribbean, like multiple times when we walked past at different times of the day, there was pirates outside, like playing like a cello. I don't know if that's yeah, probably a cello,
yeah, good
and like
guess.
an accordion and stuff like that. And they were all dressed up and talking to people as they walked past, and like that was just like so immersive for each area. And like they did kind of, I feel like, bring each like Rapunzel in Fantasyland, Moana in Adventureland, like they all kind of fit within the worlds like of wherever they were placed for the music festival, which then I think that does like, give the good like atmosphere of when you're walking past, that it kind of really makes everything a bit more immersive, and it makes it better for just to being able to see characters. Obviously you can't go and meet Moana, or if she is in Princess Pavilion, well now you might have virtual queue, but um like you would have had to wait 90 plus minutes just to go and meet her, whereas now you can just see her, and like she had all the kids up dancing with her for the music festival, which was really nice, and then they were all giving her hugs and stuff at the end. So I feel like that's like all kids really want. Like kids don't really care about the pictures and standing and having a nice backdrop, like they just want to actually be up close and see the princesses or see the characters. So I feel like it works really well in that way, especially with cues and for characters and stuff. It is in Paris.
Next year, I think if they bring it back, and I think they should bring it back if they're not going for something else, because I think next summer, let's call a spade a spade. World of Frozen has to be open by next summer. Okay,
Yeah,
people, let's just put it out there into the world. So
manifest.
you're going to have a huge draw over to studios or Disney Adventure World. It's going to be called when World of Frozen opens. So they're going to have to bring something back to the main park to get people to come back, and it kind of works well because it'll draw people back over to the main park in the afternoon because there's no
Yeah,
shows for DMF on before like 2 really. Like
yeah.
Mary Poppins is there popping away in the morning,
Then
but
that's it.
yeah, that's it kind of until 2 o'clock. um do you feel that, especially with Moana, that the vibe I got from the people I was watching the show with and from like feedback I got of people was that if you didn't have like a small kid, like as in like maybe under 5, that you were just intruding on someone else's meet and greet. So like Moana was going around picking out small kids and stuff like that. And obviously, in fairness to her,
And
she's
she
picking.
picked out me.
Yeah, she was picking out people who made an effort with like bounds or shoulder pads or
Yeah.
whatever. But it wasn't like the Moana show. Let's just go through the shows. So with the Moana show, I found that we had three musicians, and they
Yeah.
were kind of blended into the bamboo
Yeah.
wall a bit. And Moana, God love her, did her best, but she had nothing to work with. Like she
Yeah.
was just
She
going
was
around
kind of dancing around.
doing stereotypical like Hawaiian hula hoop kind of
Yeah.
dancing, you know. That's very offensive. I'm very sorry. And but with the kids, she was just picking up the kids and like spending a lot of time with them and stuff like that. And I think next year, by next summer, like they have to, like it's nearly ready. They're going to have the castle stage open by next summer, so that'll hopefully bring. I think it should bring both the Rapunzel show and the Moana show onto that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and then because
even if they didn't do like them all around the park and just did like 3 shows, say like on some days, one day it's Moana and Rapunzel, and the next day it's Donald and like Goofy's orchestra show. I know he's up in the Central Plaza, but like even if they did like alternate days of different things, and like Disneyland Paris love being random, so that would work with their very random schedule of just having whoever's available in to actually do the shows. And I think that would even work better being up in the castle stage, having that open.
did you notice that Goofy even got cut from the app?
Yeah, he was
Did
on
it?
the app when I did it.
Never.
I didn't get to see him that day because I seen online someone said that he was at like 4:10, and then I was passing and he wasn't there, and I was like, oh well, I don't know what's going on with Goofy.
Just cut. I think that again, like that's something that people just want to walk past him and
I think
see him
people were
flailing his
confused
arms.
what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, join the club. So what else? So Miguel, I didn't even like get a chance to get close to Miguel. I know it's a fine big kind of wide area,
Yeah, there's lots
but
of room there.
you still do need to get in to be at the front, because if you're not at the front, you're nothing.
Yeah.
With that show, there's no like natural elevation to the stage area. So if you're not in the front, you can't see anything. And like, I might watch it if I was going alone. I might watch it and be able to make some content or whatever by sticking my phone a bit higher up or whatever. But no one else is going to enjoy it unless you're at the front. So
Yeah,
that was just one of those things. Like again, I would think like 45 minutes or so you want to be there to get the good spot or whatever. So I did see him once. I think this video went kind of semi-viral where he gets past his guitar by his cast member friends, and one time he like whacked the child with the guitar, getting it on and off.
I did.
Yeah. And it was like, oops. And I was like, what can you do? Like, you know, Miguel is just so focused on the music that the music is his familia. So we went around then. So we had Timon's Mata Dance. I thought was
See that one.
Oh man.
Everyone
So-
says that one was the best.
I think
people who've seen the whole
for
whole
energy,
of it.
like for energy, even it's 10 out of 10 for energy. And I felt that like Minnie's Marching Band, I feel was my second favorite out of the like park. Not the concert is its own thing, but out of the like stuff in the park.
The parking.
Yeah. So the Mata Dance, yeah, it was just fantastic. Like they get people up, adults and kids, and they do the dance, and everyone's involved, and Pumba's farting away, and Timon is getting people up, and you know, I just think it's great. Like I was like, I love when Disneyland Paris just does Lion King so well. Like
Yeah.
everything they touch
Do
with Lion King just
everything to do with Lion
turns
King
to
works
gold.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then moving on to Rapunzel, which I felt was like awful. I just thought it was so awful.
Crazy.
And this is nothing on the cast members, God loved them, and nothing on Rapunzel and Flynn. Like they bring it. It was just the direction of the show, I suppose. And again, I don't know what kind of direction that even the show directors get from the money people. You know, like they had three. I'm not even a musical person, but they had three musicians out, with no kind of amplification on their instruments.
Yeah, no.
So very few people could hear them. And
that was Donald and Daisy. They're like accordion player. It was the same. They don't have like a speaker around, and it's just
spoiler. I didn't even go near Donald Daisy. I just felt that didn't appeal to me at all.
I just walked past and stopped for 2 minutes.
God love, because they're just like great characters. Like even Rapunzel is like probably the most popular princess.
So
like,
popular.
and they shove her into the corner, and they don't even give the little show a little storyline or um anything for anything to be like. It's just kind of very beige, slow music going on,
Yeah.
and you're kind of going, okay, I'll probably just leave then. Thanks, cheers. And then like the 10 kids at the front get to do a little spin around dance, and that's kind of it. I think there's more
Yeah.
excitement for the show when Rapunzel has to come from the small world gates over
And
to
yeah,
like
walk
people
over.
see her passing or whatever, and that's actually better crack than actually watching the show, personally. um, we're flip flopping here between like disasters and then great things. So we're moving on into Minnie's marching band, which is
So good.
like it's so good, and it's such like the vibe of Disneyland in California, and it's actually like I think they actually could do better with it if they some of the songs whatever didn't quite hit. You know, like when the
I think like
tempo is
Pirates went on for too long. I thought I
yeah,
think like they need to do like the young Disney songs that people know.
yeah,
Like unless you've watched Pirates or have like even if you've done the Pirates ride and you've never seen any of the movies, like you probably wouldn't recognize the Pirates music if you've
yeah,
never watched them. Like
and just like up tempo stuff. I feel a
yeah,
bit like just like I think it's actually a bit too long as well. I think Minnie spends too much time in front of Waltz and
I
Main Street
didn't go down to
Motors.
that bit. I stood up at the gazebo looking down towards the castle, like right in the
Yeah,
middle. And when they left and went down to the middle of it, I actually just stayed where I was because I knew they'd be coming back up the ways. And it makes for very good photos and videos for any of the content creators out there to just stay in that spot. Um, from what I seen online, that's what like I didn't think I was missing much by not going down and looking at them in the middle because I thought like the walking looked so much cooler than just like them kind of standing and her kind of dancing right in the middle bit. But it's a very good spot for pictures and videos.
yeah. I feel like if everyone's taking notes here from the season directors, this is our armchair imagineering kind of going on. I feel that they could, if they actually moved it further down towards Gibson Girl and Casey's Corner, so like extend the kind of show down so more people get to see it, and
Yeah,
have Minnie stop for less time. Do you know? Because then more people get to see it down there, and then she could spend instead of spending like 6 minutes, she could spend like 3 minutes stopped or whatever,
yeah,
and then more people get to see it, and it's better tempo and blah blah, and pick some more up tempo songs. Like everyone loves Try Everything from Miss Utopia.
yeah. That's
Just
such
like
a good
put
one.
that in anywhere, yeah. Just lob it in there. And then I didn't meet Stitch. Did you meet Stitch?
No,
No.
no, no,
Okay,
no.
moving on. um, and then you didn't see the concert. I saw it. I saw it, yeah, and it was just as good because it's funny. They move around. So the five performers, I think that they pair the men with the girls basically. So like, as in like, sorry, the men with the women. That if you have, I think it's 3 women and 2 men per show, and they always are in little teams. So if you get like
Oh yeah,
one set
we
of
will do that.
men, they'll be on the next show, whatever. Ugh, I'm getting tongue tied here. But twice I saw it, and twice I was actually blown away by the quality of the performers that are performing. Basically, I don't know. I did actually look back, and some of the performers in that show have performed in like Mickey Magician and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, so yeah, hats off. The Daft Punk Chipmunk situation was a little bit random, and it still didn't hit the second time. Again, I think it's too long. I think it's like it's cool when they come out, and that's hilarious. That's kind of weird. And then
It
they
is
do
cool.
like a 5 minute DJ set, which is, and everyone's kind of standing around going, okay, well, nobody's high here, so like you can't really, you can't really do that.
No.
Maybe they're higher on Kiri, but nothing else. Um, and then does that round up everything in the music festival? Oh, the grand finale. So unfortunately, classic. This is not me not taking my own advice. My own advice to everyone who comes looking for it is to always do your like, I have to see this thing on the first day, on the first night, like the first chance you get to do your, I have to do this thing. Do it on your first night. And everyone's like, oh, but I want to finish off my holiday with the fireworks. I'm like, you're getting sore tummies, you're getting bad weather, whatever. And I didn't listen to my own advice. We We're sitting in Five Guys on the first night having a burger instead of watching the grand finale. And on the second night, my daughter was sick and I never saw the grand finale. And I really want to see the grand finale. So, July, I'm coming for you, grand finale. I'm going to camp out. I'm going to camp out there because it looks great. It looks, it looks.
It was great. And like there's a part where Mickey is like, everyone sing along, and like he does it and then gets the crowd going, and like everyone actually does it and
Oh,
was all
wow.
dancing around and stuff. So it was like, and I was also there on like a sunny day, and I always think sunny days in Disney Power 7's in like a much better mood, and you know, it was good vibes. It was like Dream and Shine Brighter when everyone, by the end of it, when everyone actually knew all the words to the songs and stuff. So because he was just singing it and you were just repeating it back, so it was so good.
I'd love to know the conversations that happen in like the boardrooms around entertainment and like when they had Dream and Shine Brighter and it became like a beast, and then it became like, almost too big for the park to and then Splash of Color kind of I thought it was a really good effort. I think that it was probably 7 out of 10 in terms of Dream and Shine Brighter being like 20 out of 10 or whatever, but I felt it was grand. I felt it was a really good effort. I thought they could have messed it up easily, and they didn't mess it up, that was all the pressure.
I thought it was,
you know?
That was kind of me too.
And now they've got the grand finale, and people are loving it. And it's kind of like, guys, all we have to do is put together a show in front of the castle on the stages, and everyone's going to love it, and people will come. And like, we don't have to build Arendelle. All we have to do is put a show in front of the castle. So yeah, it's super interesting. I'd love to know the conversations in the background there about what's coming up. Like, if they're going to bring back the music festival for next year, then fair enough. But like, what's the plan long term? I don't know.
I think that their next like big parade, like their Stars on Parade, I think their next one of that would probably involve everyone getting off at the castle stages. I think it has to like seeing how successful these are. So it means that like at any time of the year they can just have people, because I think it just works really well. I think it makes everyone feel like they're like up close with the characters and like getting more out of it when they're walking past and getting interaction and stuff, rather than just like waves from kind of far away, or maybe if you happen to be standing right at the edge and when the characters come up to you. But I think next big parade should have some kind of element of that with the fireworks in the castle and the whatever they're called, paint bombs. I don't know.
I love them. I just love them so much.
They
blow.
It's just so
they
good.
blow the American mind. You ever watch American content creators like watch them and it's like, oh my god, like because the American mind couldn't comprehend when Epic Universe opened and they had daytime fireworks, and like you actually couldn't see the fireworks, but like Disneyland Paris does daytime paint fireworks.
Yeah,
with a bit of pyro on there too.
So well,
and they smash it. Yeah, I did have a thought there, and it's absolutely gone out of my head about where we were going with that. So you were talking about having like a hybrid Stars on Parade for the next Stars on Parade where people get off. That's kind of what they do with the Christmas parade.
Yeah.
So like I think they might have to do it twice if they get people off, because I think that when people get off their floats and dance on the stages, that it's kind of like a smaller or like a quicker parade.
Yeah.
So they have to do it twice, because Disneyland Paris, and I would, if I was running the place, guest flow, they love like the fact that on a normal day at 5:30, they get everyone to line the streets, and everyone kind of comes in from the attractions and rides and stuff, and then everyone leaves the park to go for their dinner.
Yeah.
Like, go for tea, and then comes back. And then goes back for the fireworks, and then it's this kind of like perfect little guest flow where people kind of leave for their dinner and then come back for fireworks, and then so it's very interesting. I think Stars on Parade definitely needs a redo. I actually felt that, and this was like really unfortunate because their hand was kind of forced with removing Song of the South, Zippy Doo Dah, and I felt that take away everything around that song. Okay, I just felt that the tempo of that song and everything made Stars on Parade work better. So like, don't cancel me, please. But without that, and it's actually funny because if you listen to that song when you go on Disneyland Paris hotline and you're trying to like change something or ask a simple question, you get Zippy Doo Dah on the phone. And it's kind of like, guys, has no one told you? Yeah, it's like Splash Mountain is no more. So yeah, we'll see what happens. all lots of stuff coming up. Like, what are they gonna do? All these busy hands, that are building Disney Village and building Adventure World, and all these busy hands are going to have to do something else when they're all finished.
Yeah.
And let's
Lion
see what
King.
happens.
Then.
Well, yeah, the Lion King is
Thrown
only.
thrown in there.
Oh, sure, stop. I think it's gonna be so weird when you are gonna be walking down Adventure Way towards Adventure Bay, like as if you're walking down towards the castle. Um, the whole left hand side is going to be just construction work still.
Yeah.
So it's like just walking
I
down
did
like
think
this.
that, and then I thought maybe it'll be because it has the kind of the trees and stuff. It might be camouflaged in a bit, but I don't think so. I think you'll just see and hear it.
Like Pride Rock is going to be taller than Arendelle, North Mountain. Yeah, 1 meter taller. Yeah. So
that is going to be kind of weird.
It's going to be huge. So we've rounded up the music festival. I'm definitely going back over to it in July. I know you want to get back over to it at least once more, just to vibe it out. I would love nothing more than to like spend a week or two in Disneyland Paris area and just be like popping in to the park to just vibe with the festival and stuff like that. But it is what it is, you know. We've no train. So on my trip there, we also had the pop-up surprises that were themed with Disney Cruise Line, and it was actually really exciting because like Disney Cruise Line is one of those things that all Disney adults for sure really want to go on, and it's all a matter of time. I don't know anybody who really says like, oh, you know, maybe people are in between. Oh, do they love Florida or go to California or what do they do? Whereas DCL is kind of like, no, I definitely want to go, unless you would like hate cruise ships and ferries and water, whatever. And we got to meet Captain Mickey, Captain Minnie.
So cute.
And it was real funny because they had like loungers out, and Mickey and Minnie were more than happy because the vibe with these pop surprises usually is you're really, really hurried along. It's really just an Instagram picture and then move on. Whereas we all know Disneyland Paris loves the like 5 to 15 minute character meets. So when I went in for the first day, so we've got 2 annual passes, so we had 2 slots because Mickey and Minnie were alternating, you know. So we went in, we got Minnie first, and like both Mickey and Minnie on both days were more than happy to just chill, and they invite you to sit down in the lounger and kind of all chats about Disney Cruise Line and everything, and it was just great. Like, you know, the Captain Jack meet was kind of weird for me. I don't know, like I could barely understand what he was saying. Yeah, I could barely understand what he was saying because, you know, Captain Jack in the movies, you know, like it's really weird. And he's just not a standard meet in the parks. So like, it's not as if you've met him before and you kind of know what to talk about and stuff, and like he references movies because he probably hasn't seen his own movies and like, I just get really awkward. I don't know about you, but like I get really awkward, especially with like face characters who aren't common, you know, like uncommon face characters. I never know what they know. Do you know? Do you know? Do they know what we know? I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was ran fairly well. Actually, the first day, just like to be super transparent, the first day we had Minnie, but then for Captain Jack you move on to the next kind of section, and for Captain Jack there was a huge backlog of, I'm just going to call it out, like Disney adults, because these are like
annual pass holders,
and you know they're all bounded and whatever, but it was causing a backlog basically in between Minnie and Captain Jack because, you know, obviously Minnie and Mickey, they're great, you know, but Captain Jack talks a bit more than them. And everyone was spending obviously like 5 or 10 minutes talking to Captain Jack, and it was creating a backlog in a tiny little area. And so we knew we were coming back the next day, so we just like bailed and came back the next day because like there was at least 6 groups. So we met Minnie, and then there was 6 groups ahead of us. Each group of like a couple, say for example, they were all going to be waiting for 5 minutes. So that was 30 minutes in between the meets, and that's just not cool.
It's not the way it's supposed to be either.
No, it's not. And like over the years we've had people given out and people been told that, oh, you're not allowed to get your book signed because they want to get people through, and a bit of a conveyor belt situation. And for some reason, this is why, because the kind of it bottlenecks, and then you have like people like queuing up in front of Minnie and Mickey
Yeah.
because they're all queuing for Jack, and it's like, yeah. So I mean, I know one of the guys who organized the pop-up surprises, like who the guest flow situation there, is Irish. So if you're listening, I don't know what you can do to improve that. Maybe just tell people to move along, get along,
No
or
problem.
like, yeah, um, or like, offer them sweets to leave faster or whatever. But like, as well as that, like for the characters, you want the right balance, don't you? You don't want like, okay, picture move, but you also don't want life story. You don't
Yeah.
want
I did the pop-up meet I did was Oswald and Tinkerbell, and I felt like mine was like a perfect speed and like enough time. Like I literally just was like, "Hello Oswald, I've never met you before," and then we got some pictures, and then moved on to Tinkerbell, and I got her to do a video for Malia, and then that was it. Like I was probably in and out the whole thing in like 5 minutes, done between the two of them, and I feel like that's like you don't really need more time with the characters. Like it's a pop up surprise for a pop up picture. Really,
surprise.
it's not for talking to them for a really long time.
Yeah, big
So,
time.
yeah.
My Tinkerbell had spent way too much time in France.
Oh yeah, mine too. I think.
Yeah, very very little Berla there. Um, so yeah, I think pop surprises are great. I think they're not like, I know they were kind of sold as part of the new annual passes to get people to buy them, but I think that um, unlike the parties, they are a part of the Disneyland Pass kind of package that we can't really complain about because they
Yeah.
feel they feel extra. They
Yep.
feel like additional to what you should be getting. Like technically, I feel that annual passes at a base level are just you're paying for entry into the park in bulk.
Yeah.
And kind of, I know this is terrible because we had way more perks before with the Infinity Pass, and we all loved I
Fine.
loved the free stroller rental. Like that was like costing me a fortune these days, and the luggage and the VIP for the fireworks and the VIP into the parks and the VIP for the Stars on Parade. And but I'm telling you, folks, there's definitely going to be like a black Disneyland Pass card in
I
the
think so.
future, and like that 999 price is just staring at the money people in Disneyland Paris and saying, I think we can charge that.
And I would probably buy it.
I would like anybody who visits the parks. Yeah, anybody who visits the parks more than 10 days a year, I would say, would be shopping
Yes,
for
that
that
would be it.
€1,000
Yeah.
pass. Let's be honest, and it
And
needs to
even
have.
if you're buying a park hopper ticket now for one day, it's usually hitting the €100 mark.
Oh yeah,
So or
like during the
over.
summer, it's like 130, 140.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I feel like even if you were to do 10 of one park days, maybe you might not work out for an annual pass if you're gonna go for like a big one. But definitely, yeah, no,
yeah.
it just
But
makes
now
so
we
much
have
sense.
more things that are going through the app, and we'll get back to this a bit later, right? But more things in the park are going through the app that can be connected to your ticket/annual pass.
Yeah.
So if they want to release like a €1,000, like I think some of the Magic Keys in America are pushing
They're
1,500,
I
aren't they?
think I think they all start at like 1,000. I don't think I haven't seen anyone say like, oh, here's my annual pass. It was 600 like the way ours are. I think
Yeah.
they're all kind of up and in and around that, or 1,500.
So do you think people would pay €1,500? That's a huge amount of money, right? I'm well aware of how much money it is, right? But €1,500 for um unlimited days, okay? No park reservations, and
So
let's say 2 premier access passes per day, and one virtual queue pass, like that you can
easy.
walk in whenever you want.
Easy. I think like
Like there you go.
I'd 100% do that because like, and this is me being snobby. I understand I'm very lucky that I get to go to Disneyland a lot, but like
Yeah, go for it. Go on. It's a Disney podcast. You're fine.
I never do queues that are longer than like 30 minutes. And if I'm by myself and it's like 25 minutes, I'm like, yeah. Like if I had primary access, I would do much more like ride wise in the park. But I love like sitting and doing nothing and people watching. That's like me when I'm by myself. I love like just like having a wander. But like if I had that, I would 100% pay that to be able to go whenever I want, like last minute without needing reservations. and just be able to walk onto like any ride basically. And with, I have to say, like, even though it is a lot more expensive and it's not as like efficient as like say like multipass in California is, I don't know about Walt Disney World because I haven't used it there, but for like doing a lot more rides, and I know you can go like anytime if you have those ones, but if you have the Premier Access one like for the whole day, I think like it's always short Premier Access. Like anytime I bought the single ones, I haven't done the full day ones, but anytime I bought the single ones, it's always like basically nearly a walk on, except for Crush. I haven't done that one, so don't quote me on that. It's definitely not a walk on for Crush. If you're doing Premier Access, but if I had that, I would 100% pay for 1,500. I feel like any more than 1,500 is too much of a push for majority of people, but I feel like if they came out with a 1,500 or a 1,001 that had that kind of thing in it, I would 100% go for it.
Yeah, and that's not even without mentioning like 20% discount on food and merch.
Yeah.
And like, what else can you throw in that's kind of easy? I don't know.
Hotel discounts that are easy to book, and you know what the prices are going to be.
Oh, you're asking for too much now. You're asking for too much. But it's so funny. It's so like commercialism 101, where like take away things, and then we'll feel like in a few years' time that they're so generous when they bring them back at twice the price, at triple the price. Because the last Infinity I bought was 500. So like,
so was mine, and then mine was 4 something with the discount.
Yeah,
the second time
424, I think, or something. Yeah,
I think so.
Mad times we live in. But sure, they know people will pay. This is the thing. They know people will pay, and I feel that, and Disneyland Paris is trying to find, like, you know, supply and demand or whatever. Sorry, I did economics in school in college, but like they're trying to really find that middle point where they want to push the prices up, and then as soon as people start not coming to the parks, like people always give out. Okay, we give out on the podcast. People give out on Facebook groups, Instagram DMs, whatever. Everyone likes giving out, but people still go, and that's the real test. So anybody who's given out the whole time is just pretty much just wallowing in their own negative energy because they're actually still going. So until they stop going, and I've seen people stop going, and like that's the test of, you know, your morals and stuff like that, because that's, you're being true to yourself then. But if you're just giving out and then still going like 20 times a year, then you're just having a BITCH. That's all you're having.
Like I caved and got my annual pass, but there's a lot of people that had the Infinity and have not caved yet. I caved just because I said like this year I wanted to kind of start going a bit more. Last year I barely went, and it was very sad. So this year sad. I said
you were sad panda,
because then it would just make me go more. And now, like, I have gone only once on my annual pass, but yeah, I think another big thing was definitely the friends and family tickets when they took those away. I think that was like a big hit, because like when I took my mom and my cousin twice with the friends and family tickets, and like that was so affordable for them to come along with me in comparison to like the normal tickets to be able to go for, I think it was like €50 each the 2 times that we went, like per day, and that's for both parks obviously. Yeah, but I think that was a big thing as well, not being able to take other people with you, even if you just have one annual pass, between the person who likes Disney most out of your friend group or out of your family. If they brought that back as part of the 1,500 as well, sold.
Okay, and what would you think about $2,500?
Too much.
What do you want for that? Like,
move into the castle the month. Yeah,
oh, imagine! But imagine. Oh, do you know what I'd sell it for, Aisling? If you could get a free.
I already know where this is going.
If you could get a free club upgrade.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you book a room in Sequoia to DLH, and they upgraded you from standard level, just one night, just a free upgrade from standard room to club level, for one night, yeah, for $2,500. So, like, and that's the thing. Actually, funny enough, while you were talking earlier, I was thinking of this, that a lot of people who haven't, like you say, folded on their Infinity passes, they've actually gone towards more staying on site and booking packages.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. That
so DLP is still winning.
Like,
yeah, because they want the hotels full. That's like priority number one. Like the parks being full, okay, they don't really like that too much. They want the hotels full, they want the restaurants full, and they want the merch flying out. And that's not necessarily the parks being full. You know,
Yeah.
they want the parks being paid for, but not necessarily being full. So yeah, interesting times at DLP. And that was just a side conversation of the fact that we got Papa surprises.
Yeah.
um, so on a complete, like, this is not even a segue, it's completely the opposite direction. I went to see Thunderbolts in early May, and I went to see it in IMAX. It's like, oh, IMAX is like my heaven. Is there an IMAX in the north? Like a
They
proper
have like Max and Omniplex,
Max.
but it's the same kind of thing.
Um, I have to check it out actually. This is how much I love IMAX, right? I was looking in. There is the biggest IMAX in the world is the biggest cinema screen in the world, and it's like 100 miles east or west of Stuttgart,
Oh,
and it's in this like really random town, and for some reason they wanted to build the biggest IMAX in the world. And so they got the IMAX people in and they did it. So like I'm looking in to go and see a movie there. I went on a stag do to Newcastle once, and the reason it was picked is because The Dark Knight Rises was coming out in IMAX that weekend.
that's
And
so
that was,
funny.
yeah, so that's what I'll do for it. But yeah, Thunderbolts, this is such an interesting thing because I think everyone, um, loved the movie is a bit of a strange word, like respected the movie and really enjoyed it and really gave it great reviews, but it didn't connect with the general movie going audience of like bring your kids to the cinema, maybe go see it again sort of situation. So I think it was like the lowest grossing Marvel movie in a long time. Like only got like less than $400 million,
Is
which
it
is
more Pew one?
yes,
Oh,
yes, which
oh.
is better than Snow White. Sorry to mention the war, but Ashling, I think you made more than Snow White did. Like, in fairness, I it just came out. Snow White just came out this like in the last week on Disney Plus, and like I felt that if they brought that on Disney Plus like 2 weeks after it hit the cinemas, it would have just people would have loved it more. Like,
I've had so many people message me saying that they watched it on Disney Plus now, like because they didn't want to pay for it in the cinema, and then it was actually really good, and like it was actually way better than thought. And I was like, well, guys, I wasn't lying.
I know, and it sounds kind of silly, right? But like, if you like what Disney are doing with their princess remakes and whatever, like you kind of have to support them by going to the cinema. Like
Yeah, 100%. I
you
mean, I
can't
think
just.
I'm like a film nerd, so I think in general people need to go to the cinema, and you have to
I love
experience
the
a
cinema.
movie as a piece. So do I. You have to experience movies on the big screen with people, and it's so sad when you go to the cinema and there's hardly anyone there, especially when it's like a Saturday night or something. And like cinemas used to be so full, and then COVID came,
Yeah,
and now people have no cinema etiquette. And oh, I love the cinema, but I think in general, like movies are made to be watched and enjoyed in cinemas 90% of the time.
and it's kind of interesting because the reason I want to talk about movies and particularly Disney and Marvel movies, and probably Star Wars as well, basically anything that comes out of the budget for Disney, is because they are directly linked to the parks. Like there's no you can't get around anymore. They want to make movies that they can translate into rides and attractions and bring people into the parks. So like for example, Red Guardian from Thunderbolts was in obviously Avengers Campus in DCA. Now we didn't get anybody, of course, in Disneyland Paris, because that's just how it rolls. But I felt they could easily do Florence Pugh, Yelena Belova. Like I know of a few Disney fans who are unbelievable cosplayers who would happily do it for free, um, and I thought that would have been a great meet and greet to get Yelena in there. Like, oh, anyway, but the movie itself was super dark. Actually, it dealt with themes of depression and really heavy stuff, and it dealt with them like head on. There was no beating about it. Um, I don't want to give too much away as spoilers, but like it's kind of Marvel spoiled the movie themselves by like 2 weeks after the movie came out, or I think it was like 4 days actually.
Oh yeah,
They changed the name of the movie,
yeah.
The New Avengers, and that's basically I don't want to. People might want to see it on Disney Plus, or whatever, in a few weeks. But towards the end of the movie, they get renamed the New Avengers, as a marketing exercise in the movie. So it's very meta the way that fell through to real life then. But yeah, everyone loved it, and it didn't make any money. So it's weird because this is obviously like Marvel has a huge slate, and they kind of betting the company, betting like Disney are betting the company on, the next few Avengers movies, because like Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame in 2018 and 2019, they both made like $2 billion, and that's like money straight back into the parks. You can see like we have, what do we have now? Two and a half Avengers campus in the international parks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And we have they're expanding Avengers Campus in DCA to have like this Infinity Defense ride, I think it's called,
Yes.
where they're gonna, it's something to do with Tony Stark, and you're picked up by an arm or whatever, and you're right. Like, have you seen Monsters Unchained in the Epic Universe?
Yeah, the like
It's kind
the
of like that
next.
situation,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're pumping in loads of money into this, and like the movies have to do well. They've gotten Robert Downey Jr. back from the dead, literally twice, and they've gotten back the directors from Infinity War and Endgame to do Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and Ashling is falling asleep. But this is seriously like, this is betting the company stuff, and like, Bob Iger gets up there and Josh D'Amaro gets up there and says, "Oh, we're spending $30 billion on the US parks and 60 billion on or another 30 billion on the international parks." And if their movies are making no money, that 60 billion is going to go into saving the company as opposed to us getting new rides. So that's what we're talking about in the podcast. And if you have any, if you're listening to this and you have any thoughts on Thunderbolts, or what was the other one in the year, Captain America: Brave New World, Snow White, what other Disney stuff we have? What's the new movie coming out? Elio or something?
Yeah, Elio, that looks cute.
Elio. I have I have opinions about Pixar movies. Like, I love them, but they've gone like with Soul and with um Elemental and this now. It's like they're making movies. Inside Out 2 was a sequel, so we can't talk about that too much. But they're making movies and they're like dancing around humanity, if you get me.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
think
no
so.
humans. It's all just
It's like
blobs.
human issues with like made up creatures or like made up
Yeah.
worlds kind of a thing.
Like, it's just merch, really, isn't it? There's
Yeah.
just
I know, I already seen
talking
it,
merch.
some Elio stuff in the Disney store, and I was like, you're already betting people want to buy toys and stuff of the movie,
Yeah.
and it hasn't come out yet.
And in fairness, it's more like international, it's more universal. That
Yeah.
when you put it into different languages, you don't have someone who looks like us,
Yeah, true.
trying to sell that in a different part of the world, and vice
Yeah.
versa. Like, so yeah. Moving on then to another non what do you call it, like central Disney theme, May the 4th. So that was like the end. I was actually the middle of my trip with May the 4th. And unfortunately, my daughter was not vibing at all with May the 4th. She is not a Star Wars girly at all.
Me either.
And and I've been to another one, a few of them, and yeah, like she just got a bit freaked out by the crowd down in Discoveryland. And Star Traders was just packed, and they had that white fleece, and everyone was packed trying to get that white fleece. And yeah, it just I know that some of our friends like MC and things like that, they had a great time. I think if you were an adult just chilling around Discoveryland and chatting to Star Wars loving pals, and
Yeah.
I think you love it. But yeah, I probably won't be bringing a child unless they love Star Wars.
Love
Yeah,
it.
because I went like 2 years ago just solo,
And
and
that's actually, just to say, bringing a child to the back area of Discoveryland. There's nothing happening in the rest of the park. He doesn't
yeah,
mean don't bring your child on May the 4th at all. That's
like
only is happening in Discoveryland, like down the bottom of it.
that was the thing, because I was there for the music festival really, and I got to do music festival stuff while May the 4th was on. Do you know?
Yeah.
And they had Ahsoka over, which was a good win, and they had the BDX droids, which are now behind the paywall. Actually, we should just go from May 4th into Lounge Lightspeed, because that's what Lounge Lightspeed is really, is a paywall for the BDX droids. Because like somehow they have decided that they want to charge people. So I don't understand this, right? It's €22 for champagne and biscuits, but it's €15 for Coke and biscuits. So if you take the champagne from Main Street, it's €20, and you get to keep the glass. That means the biscuits is €2, which
Yeah.
is making your bottle of Coke, which is not special in any way, €13.
Crazy.
And you might get to see the BDX droids. You might get to see a Star Wars character. Like I think a few days ago we had Chewbacca up there. But
Chewbacca was out today.
yeah, on the first day when it opened, DLP Report went up there and they said, okay, so where are the droids? And they were like, oh, it'll be about 90 minutes for the droids. And like, I don't think you're allowed to stay more than 60 minutes there, really, because it's not,
Lovely.
it's a lot. I've heard reports that a lot of days, especially midweek, it's fairly empty, the whole lounge.
I would
So
say.
disappointing, really. It's purely the application of the idea, really. Like, it's a great spot. It deserves better than that. We deserve to get the little Coke bottles from Galaxy's Edge. The little grenade.
Ones.
Yeah. And yeah, they could do much better. Like, imagine that place even at night, in the kind of spring and autumn, where you can have it lit up and you can have music on, like Ogo's Cantina and stuff like that. Like, there's so many, like, May the 4th shows, there's so much love for Star Wars. And they have like Star Wars Celebration that happened in London a few years ago, and like they sell out like the XL Arena and stuff like that. Like, it's huge numbers.
Yeah.
And even if they're going to do it for May, like maybe just March, April, May, and then finish it at the end of May, they could really up that lounge and then, sell it as something that's similar to Galaxy's Edge. But we shall digress. And we'll move on to the much, much lighter topic of Disney Abu Dhabi. So I'm just going to let Aisling talk for the whole segment here. And then... Aisling, sorry, I can't hear you. Do you want to go first, or will I go first? So I'll just lay out the facts. I'll lay out the facts.
I shared it on my Instagram anyways, what my opinions are of it, but go with the facts first.
Yeah, we'll go with the facts first. That it must have been middle of May. I don't have the exact date, really. But so Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro were over in Disney Abu Dhabi, or just Abu Dhabi, and they announced the 7th park, which is going to be what was Bob Iger's famous phrase? Something classically Disney, but distinctly Disney, Emirati, Chinese. Isn't it?
Authentically Chinese. I'm just.
It was the same phrase. It was the same phrase from Shanghai. Yeah, exactly the same word for word. Just put in Chinese with Emirati.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they released this kind of watercolor, as you do, this watercolor vague concept art with a glass-looking castle. A lot of people, just at a very practical level, were worried about the heat, and most theme parks in the area are mostly indoors. And the theme park will be fully ran, funded, and operated by the Morale Group, which operates like SeaWorld, and I think Warner Brothers have a theme park in the same area. And it's, well, moving on to why I think there's multiple reasons why Disney have done this. The main reason is the money. Okay, and that's most of the reason. Morale are paying for this. They're also going to be paying Disney a licensing fee, which is going to help Disney pay the $30 billion that is going back into the US parks, and the other $30 billion going into international parks. So when you want a new ride in Disneyland Park, for example, and you're not going to the cinema to see Snow White, and you're just giving it about Disney Abu Dhabi, you're not going to get your ride, okay? Let's be honest. And then, like, we all know this is going to be cutting edge technology. We can see that, like, Tron was built in Shanghai straight away, and then it came to Walt Disney World. There's just going to be a lot of money involved in this. They're going to be air conditioned rides, so they're going to have complete control over ride maintenance and things like that. It's going to be like, not like Big Thunder Mountain in Paris, the way it kind of freezes in the winter and then it gets really hot in the summer. They can build something and then it's going to stay like in this really safe environment. But then, speaking of safe environment, a lot of people on the internet, the great place that it is, took huge exception to the local LGBTQ plus laws, insofar as that it's illegal to be that way inclined. in the locality. Again, I'm going to butcher a lot of this because I'm not an expert on this. I tried to educate myself more, and which is why I spoke so little about it, because I couldn't educate myself more because it was a hugely emotional thing for a lot of people. I don't know how you do a Disney park without members of the queer community providing a lot of the entertainment. That's just like, we're friends with cast members and people involved in Disney parks and things like that. And you know that, like, versus the general population, the queer community make up an awful lot of entertainment at Disney parks. And that's like, I think that's a positive thing. I don't know how it's going to happen in Disney Abu Dhabi. Who knows? On the other side of things, no one is forcing anyone to go. Do you know? I've never been to that part of the world. I'm not drawn particularly to, like, you know, Dubai is very flashy and like it ticks a lot of boxes that you might say, oh, that's great. Like, Stuart would love that place, but I have no draw to go there. I just don't feel it. I don't feel it in me to go. So, it's not really my fight. I know I'm hugely involved in the Disney community, and you know, people want my opinion and everything, but I'm not going to go around shouting my opinion in a kind of a disagreement where I don't have stake in it. You know, I don't have. I'm not offended by it. I'm just completely agnostic to the fact that Disney are taking the money to let a company build something in the Middle East with their logo on it. That's basically what's happening here.
Yeah.
And I wish there was a way, but like, we also have to think, right? And this is like looking at the complete positive side of things, like, you know, magic fairy dust. What can happen here is that if you look at it the opposite way. So I love golf, for example, and the Saudi investment fund has plowed an awful lot of money into creating a golf tour alongside the main golf tour in America called Live Golf. And Ashling's fallen asleep again, right?
No, I actually know what it is.
Yeah. So, and a lot of Middle Eastern governments with a lot of their, you know, oil and legacy money have tried to, what they call, like, is it called like oil washing or whatever? I don't know what it is. Or sport washing. Kind of cultural things in the West. And again, I'm just putting it out there. This is not my opinions. And in the hope that you might see their countries as more open and, you know, a more welcoming place. And, you know, if they have a golf tournament, if they sponsor certain events, you know, they build certain hotels in our country, you know, it's not this like bad place that, you know, we don't know anything about and we're never going to go near. Okay. So if you look at the opposite of that, Disney, like when you play in the Live Golf Saudi Golf League, for example, you don't have to abide by the Saudi, you know, Sharia law or whatever law happens in that country. Again, I'm butchering all this because I'm not that educated on it, but I'm just saying that Disney are kind of tiptoeing here. They're going to hand off their licensing. They're going to hand off their designs and let Morale build it. They're going to take the money from it. And we've all seen in the last 5 years that Disney are just a company, and like any company, like any public traded company in the US, they are beholden to only their shareholders. And that is the way it is. If they made different decisions in the last 5 years and, you know, the share price went down and revenue went down and they folded, went bankrupt, I mean, we'd all be saying, okay, they stood by their gun. They stood by their beliefs and their ethics and whatever, but they wouldn't exist anymore. So, I mean, what do people want? I have seen other people as well. I'm ranting on here. Aisling, I'll let you come in a second now. I know you're dying to come in this one. But, you know, we are quite privileged as Irish people that we can travel anywhere in the world and we can enjoy particularly other Western countries, America or whatever, and people from that part of the world, from the Middle East and countries that are very close to the Middle East. So, for example, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, their passports aren't as open as Irish passports, and they cannot visit all the Disney parks in the world if they want to. So I've seen people make that argument that, you know, it's a bit high and mighty for us to be going, oh, you're not allowed to have a Disney park in the Middle East, which is a gateway hub to that whole South Asia Southeast Asia. You know,
Yeah.
there's like 2 billion people within a 4 hour flight of Disney Abu Dhabi. So who are we to sit here? You know, I'm sitting here in Dublin and I'm looking out at a lovely night or whatever, like, you know, and we're just privileged. Like, I'm very privileged in how my life has turned out, mostly through luck that I'm just being born in this country. And other people who just happen to be rolled the dice born in a different country, let them, you know, enjoy the Disney experience. And I wish that certain laws were different. I wish that a lot of people were more welcome and felt more welcome in other countries. But yeah, I'm just not that attracted to that part of the world, and I don't see myself visiting that park, so I don't have a huge opinion on it.
Yeah. I think I do, like, 100%. I think I can see as well that even though now it's kind of like exclusive to some people that are over our side of the world, now it actually is an inclusive park for like a whole new demographic of people that might have never gotten to go to a Disney park. I think, like, did they say that it's 4 hours from like most of the world's population or something? It's within a 4 hour flight. There was like some statistic, but yeah, I'm like, sure. I said, like, I have never wanted, like, Dubai has, just like Australia also, has never been somewhere where I've cared about visiting. So, like, even aside from that, just being a Disney park, I think my thing was, and I shared this on Instagram stories, was that, like, I didn't see myself visiting because it is obviously excluding the LGBT community. I think Disney, for me as well, I think, and happy Pride, by the way, because I want to talk about Pride Month. Like, Disney profit off Pride every single year, and from my knowledge, like, I don't think, like, and even with DLP, like, they used to have actual, like, extra ticketed events. From my knowledge, I don't think the ticketed events ever went towards a cause or anything like that. I don't think, from what I remember. So, like, they are profiting off that community, and even now, like, they have really nice ears. If you haven't seen them, the Pride ears that are out for this year are really nice. They're like the black leather ones. And then one of their keys of the Disney company is inclusivity, and especially, like Stuart said, the entertainment workers, like cast members, and even like some of the Imagineers, I'm sure, that will be working on the new park, wouldn't be welcome there, even though people do travel there all the time anyways for holidays and stuff like that. I don't know, it is inclusive now to like new people, but it's not inclusive to so many people that like we love and care for. So I don't know, I think it's kind of a tough one, but I think also maybe some people were really upset, and also if you want to go, I'm sure you'll have an amazing time. And also, I'm very excited to see it, and I'm excited for all the money that goes into it and all the developments and stuff that it will trickle down to us, hopefully the same way it did with, like, is it Tokyo that has Arendelle, the way we're getting like the nice animatronics, not the Florida ones in Paris. So that's like the positive spin on it. But, and like, I am excited to see everything that happens in it. Obviously it's going to be amazing considering they have like an unlimited budget basically to just put whatever they want into it. Yeah, but personally I won't be going, probably, unless anything changes.
Yeah, like, I don't know how else we can put it. So we'll probably just wrap it up there. Like, I feel that it's unfortunate. I feel the PR around it was terrible. I think that's something we can all agree on. I think that Disney should have been prepared for this backlash, and they should have been ready for it, and they should have, I don't know how they would have done it. I don't know. Like, obviously, like, in the conversation between Bob Iger and the heads of the Abu Dhabi government,
I don't know how it wasn't like something that just,
like,
these are a lot of our cast members are like this.
yeah,
You know, like, I don't know.
and they're sitting around and on the flight back, like, to Florida, because obviously, let's say that Bob and Josh went to went to Abu Dhabi 6 months ago, whatever, right? Just to have a chat, and they got the private jet back to Florida and California, and it had to be just mentioned. So, like, how are we going to do this? How is this actually going to work? And then somebody said, "Do you know what? Let's just not mention it.
It's just a grand day.
Let's just not mention it." And yeah, so who knows? I mean, as well as this, I will say, and I'm very on the privileged end of this as well, right? I'm not a member of the LGBT plus community. So I cannot speak for anybody, and I do not want to speak for anybody. Yeah, I just want to make that hugely clear. I'm not trying to be patronizing here. I'm not trying to say that your opinions and your feelings are not valid. I'm just telling you what other people I've read on the internet from like people in that community who have visited countries in that region, that it's very different. Like the laws on the statute books, for example, are very different to the lived reality of people in the queer community who actually choose to live there or choose to visit there or choose to just be a tourist or whatever. Okay, like there's an awful lot of things you can't do there, even as, say, for example, a straight couple that you would do in like Benidorm or whatever, wherever the kids go these days. You can't do things, and that's just the local culture. And I know local culture is very different to human rights and recognizing that people exist. It's just that some parts of the world are not in the same place that Western countries are. And hopefully one day they get there. And maybe Disney will look back in 50 years and say, here, look, like, and totally spin the whole thing. And they'll be like, look, we reached out to these countries when nobody else was. And we kind of implanted ourselves into that country with the strategy of kind of opening up them 100%. To
be more
inclusive. And that's very like kind of retro fitting the whole thing. But
or it could not be built at all.
It could not be built at all. Like, that was the main thing. Like, if you look back at the history of parks that are announced in that part of the world, at least half of them
in Paris.
At least half of them don't get built. Like between Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, all these places love announcements, and then just money doesn't come through or whatever, or the wind shift or whatever, and the places don't get built.
Yeah.
So, if you're upset by this announcement, I hear you. Your concerns are absolutely valid. And if you, as Ashley said, if you're excited by it, you're also valid. I don't think we have to go around the internet being angry at everyone.
There's enough hate in the world.
There's an awful lot of hate. There's forces out there conspiring for people to hate each other. And I just think that, let's try and spread a bit of love, people. It's Pride Month. Let's try and spread a bit of love. But yeah, I have personally, with Disney Pride this year, it feels wrong for me to kind of like, I found out that was going to be on December 29th. You know, I put June 29th. I put up a post, and is it December 29th? Jesus. I put a post saying, you know, clearly Disney has not behaved themselves in accordance with their inclusivity key this year. Let me know your comments on the post, right? And nobody commented. So like,
I didn't even see that post.
Yeah, so like, but like a lot of people, maybe it got pushed down the algorithm because like Instagram doesn't want to push that questioning of Disney or whatever. But yeah, I just don't feel like Disney deserve much promotion about Pride this year, and that is a huge shame, because I know people in the DLP community and cast members and everything who are part of the queer community, and they enjoy Pride. They, you know, feel like it's a celebration and a visibility event for themselves and everything that it should be, if you want to take it. A lot of people in that community also see it as a money grab and see it as just, you know, the way all the corporations for June turn the logos all rainbow. Like I can't win personally, like in my privileged position with any opinion on this whole thing, but I feel that promoting Pride for Disney this year feels a bit icky in a certain situation.
I agree.
So Aisling, we are an hour into this podcast, and my actual idea was to cut it here, cut a halftime. We're going to get some water. We're going to because my room is roasting here. And this is going to be episode 15. And then we're going to continue episode 16 in a few minutes, where we're going to wrap up the rest of our little agenda because I don't think anyone wants to listen to a 2-hour podcast of us chatting, especially about heavy world stuff. So,
Hard topics.
yes, folks, that has been episode 15 of Irish Years at Disney Fancast. You can follow myself, Stuart, at DLP Tips for Irish, or Aisling at Happily Ever Aisling. And for now, or for a few minutes, if you're listening to episode 16, which we're going to record straight away, we will say a biento. See you soon. Bye.